they did implant and root shield but without grafting the gap. And the two of them that did not graft the gap show that at the crestal region, histologically, there's basically connective tissue migration down into the coronal column. So for me, I prefer to have bone there, and therefore putting bone graft there, hopefully slow down the migration of connective tissue into that gap there. That's the thinking process. What graft material do I put in there? Usually allograft small particles. Okay. So yeah. So this is another picture referred to me. I think a general dentist place an implant and put a tissue in there, and then there's a deep pocket. And he doesn't know what to do. I say, okay, I'll take a look at the patient. You can see this is probably two patient implants, 35 hours after the tissue. Okay. I go in there, I remove the provisional he did, and you can see this, right? I clean things up, look at the implant touching the shield. And also look at how thick is the shield. So we also want to talk about the thickness of the shield. If you read the early literature, they always talk about 1.5 millimeters. That means the thickness 1.5 millimeters. Uniformly, all right? I found that 1.5 sometimes is still a little bit thick. I prefer to go between 1 to 1.5. So I want to narrow it down. But look at, when you leave the shield cut thick and the implant is touching it, so here I am, I'm trying to clean the implant to save the implant for this dentist here, right? And there's almost no room for it. I have really had a hard time, okay? But fortunately, I'm able to save this implant for him, and so this is like, just last year I took a picture when the patient came in my office to follow up. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you can see at 2004, you can see the defect. Unfortunately, we're able to save this implant for this guy, all right? So the general rule is this. The general rule is this. When we do this shield, we got to be careful. So I'm going to show you one more thing and we'll start, all right? So let's say my patient here, let's look at this patient here. By the way, the few references I show you, remember with the data, is from this article. If you want to read about it, you're nothing better to do, show that, so you can download it and look at it, okay? You're nothing better to do, yeah. Let me just show you this patient here. All right. So this patient had referred to be a fractured canine. Okay, and has a little apical thing here. So for an implant. So someone already placed an implant in there. So what I decided to do is do a root shield. This case I treated back in 2011. I think in my root shield career, this is case number 3. Okay. So I'm very experienced already. So I go in that, do a little bone sounding, okay? And the facial bone is intact. So one of the rules, of course, the facial bone must be intact, right? Another rule is the root shield should have very little to no mobility. If the root is moving, +2, +1 mobility, don't use it for the shield, right? It should be like 0 to very slight mobility is okay. And then buccal bone should be intact. And so what I did is place implant, put a root shield there, right? So that's what I did. And then now that I look back, the shield is really close to the root, to the implant. I should have thinned this flap, but it's so hard to see because I did it flatness, right? I did it flatness, so hard to see. And then I put some graft in, and look at that, the area that the shield is really close by graft material cannot even get in there. See that? So I put the provisional on the patient and through retained, which is okay, and so 2012, right? Okay. The reason is to maintain the papillary tissue to implant. That's the goal. So when I removed the crown to help them make final impressions, I saw this. Actually, I did not even see this. Okay, you see what is this here? That's a root. That's exposure to root. I actually did not even see it. I'm wearing loops, I cannot even see it. I actually only saw it. Fortunately, I took a picture. Okay, and then I go home, middle of the night, I have nothing better to do, I don't know what, that night, somehow I woke up in the night, I said, let me take a look at my picture here. Put it on my little laptop screen, and I said, hey, what is this here? Is that too good, So I got the patient in, I said, what, and then what I learned is this, when you do the shield, that's what you're going to do today, right? One mistake I make here is I make it super crystal. You see where the bone is? I make it super crystal. Now I actually want to make it equal crystal. Okay. Number two is this. I actually want to put a backfold here. And that's what I want you to do. When you do the shield, remember the thickness 1 to 1.5, you actually want to put an internal backfold here. Why? Because the provisional of the oxide coming in, you want to leave enough room for the development of soft tissue. So this is the situation, right? I go in there, I remove